Let me start with a truth you can't afford to ignore. You can always earn more money, but you can never earn more time. Time is life's most precious resource, and the clock. It doesn't care who you are, rich or poor, young or old. Every one of us gets the same 24 hours, the same 7 days, the same chance to either waste it or use it wisely. And here's the catch. It's not how much time you have. It's what you do with the time you've been given that separates success from struggle, purpose from confusion, greatness from regret. Some people spend their time, others invest it. In difference, it shows up in your results, in your income, in your relationships, in your peace of mind. So let me ask you, are you running your day or is your day running you? In this video, we're going to walk through the real truths about time. How to guard it, how to multiply it, and how to make it serve you instead of slip away from you. Because once it's gone, it's gone. So stay with me. What you're about to hear could change the way you live the next hour, the next year, the rest of your life. Know the value of 1 hour. Let me ask you a question that might shake your thinking. What's 1 hour of your life really worth? Now, most people don't ask that question. They go through the day, the week, the month, never stopping to measure the true value of their time. And that's the problem. See, it's not that we don't have time, it's that we don't respect the time we do have. Let me give it to you straight. 1 hour can change your life. 1 focused hour of reading, 1 hour spent with your child, 1 hour planning your future, 1 hour working on your skills, your vision. Your discipline that 1 hour used wisely becomes the seed of a new habit, a new income, a new future. But here's the tragedy. Most people trade that hour for scrolling, for complaining, for doing what's easy instead of what's essential. And then they wonder why the dream is still far away. You've got to remember, this time is not just ticking by. It's your life slipping away. Moment by moment, you don't get to pause it. You don't get to store it. You can't buy more of it. You either use it or you lose it. I want you to think about this. Imagine someone gave you $86,400 every day. But here's the rule. Whatever you don't use by midnight disappears. Would you waste it? Of course not. But life does the same thing. You get 86,400 seconds a day. The question is, are you spending them or are you investing them? Because the wealthy, the fulfilled, the extraordinary, they've learned this one simple truth. Every hour counts. So let me challenge you today. Don't say it's just an hour. Say it's a building block of my future. Don't say I'll do it later. Say I'll do it now, because later might not come. And don't just pass the time. Harvest it. Put this into action. Take 1 hour today, just one, and use it with intention. Read a book, write your goals, call someone who matters, learn a new skill. But make it count, because here's what I know: you multiply your results by mastering your hours. And when you start to value your time, the world starts to value you. Remember, it's not about having more time. It's about becoming more intentional with the time you already have. The difference between busy and productive. Let me share something that could change the way you look at your entire day. There's a big difference between being busy and being productive. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Jim, I'm doing things. I'm active. I'm working hard. And I believe you. But here's the question that really matters. Are you moving the needle or just spinning your wheels? See, I used to meet people who were always rushing, always exhausted, always behind. But when I asked them what they'd actually accomplished, they couldn't tell me why. Because they were confusing activity with achievement. They were busy, but they weren't productive. Let me give it to you like this. A rocking chair moves, but it doesn't go anywhere. It's in motion, but it's not making progress. And sadly, that's how most people live their lives. They answer emails. They go to meetings. They run errands. But when the sun sets, their goals haven't moved an inch. Here's the truth. Busy people focus on the urgent, productive people. Focus on the important, busy people react. Productive people plan. Busy people say yes to everything. Productive people say yes to what matters and no to what doesn't. Being productive means working on the right things, not just more things. So what's the fix? You've got to become a master of priorities. Don't ask, what do I need to do today? Ask, what's the most important thing I must accomplish today? Start with that guard, finish that, and here's a powerful technique. The rule of 3 every morning before you start your day. Write down 3 things, just 3 that would make your day productive. Not 30, not 13, just 3. Then focus all your energy on making those 3 things happen. That's how you turn a busy day into a productive one. And don't forget this, the world doesn't reward you for being busy. It rewards you for producing results. Results that move your career forward. Results that grow your finances. Results that bring peace to your home, joy to your heart, and meaning to your work. So I challenge you today. Audit your day, cut out the fluff, double down on what matters. Because being busy makes you tired, but being productive makes you better. If it's important, schedule it. You know what I've learned? If something really matters to you, you won't leave it to chance. You'll put it in the calendar. You'll make time for it. You'll schedule it. Now, I talk to people all the time who say, Jim, I want to read more. Jim, I need to exercise. Jim, I should spend more time with my kids. And I say, great, show me your schedule. Because if it's not in your schedule, it's not in your life. You can hope, wish, and intend all day long, but without a plan, without structure, life will pull you in every direction except the one that matters. Here's the truth. Your schedule is your strategy. It tells the world and your subconscious what matters most. And it's how you move from being reactive to becoming intentional. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about filling your day with 27 tasks and running around like a machine. I'm talking about blocking time for what moves your life forward. Time to think, time to learn, time to create, time to rest, time to grow. If it feeds your future, schedule it. And here's something important. Don't just schedule work. Schedule joy. Schedule health. Schedule time with the people you love. Schedule time for the person you're becoming. Because if you don't schedule your life, sizzle else will. The phone will ring. The inbox will flood. The distractions will pile up, and suddenly you'll be busy, but not fulfilled. Moving, but not progressing. You see, when you take control of your calendar, you take control of your life. Here's what I suggest. Every Sunday evening, take 30 minutes to design your week. Ask yourself, what are the top 3 things I must get done? What time will I block for my personal growth? Where do I need boundaries? And most importantly, what matters most this week? Then put it on the calendar. Don't leave it floating in your mind. Put it on paper. Remember, what gets scheduled gets done. What doesn't gets forgotten. So don't wait for time to show up. Make an appointment with your goals. Make an appointment with your future. Make an appointment with the life you say you want. And then show up for it. Because your future is not created by chance. It's created by choice. And every time you schedule what's important, you're choosing to live by design, not by default. Kill the time, thieves. Let me tell you something hard but true. Most people don't lose their time. They give it away. And they don't even realize it because the thieves don't come in through the front door. They slip in through the cracks quietly, consistently, and before you know it, the day is gone. I call them time thieves. They steal your focus. They rob your goals. They leave you busy, but broke, tired, but unfulfilled. And here's the dangerous part. They come disguised as harmless habits. Let me name a few of the most common culprits. The scroll trap. 5 minutes on social media turns into you went in for inspiration and left with distraction. The endless inbox. You check your email like it's a slot machine, hoping something good shows up. Meanwhile, your priorities wait in silence. The meeting. That could have been a message. Ever sit in a meeting and think, why am I here? That's time you'll never get back. The people pleasers curse saying yes to every request, every event, every favor, while saying no to your own goals. The perfectionism loop. You tweak, edit, delay, not because it's not ready, but because you're afraid it won't be perfect. So nothing gets done. Now listen, I'm not against fun. I'm not against rest. But I am against wasting your life on things that don't matter. Because every minute you give away to a thief is a minute. You never get to invest in your dream. So what do? You've got to go on a hunt, find the time thieves in your day and eliminate them. Start by asking yourself, where does my time go? That brings me no return. What habits give me nothing back? Not joy, not peace, not progress. Who or what pulls me away from my priorities? Then get bold, get honest, and draw some lines. Set time limits on your phone. Say no to energy-draining requests. Turn off the notifications that beg for your attention. Protect your focus like your future. Depends on it, because it does. Here's a principle you can live by. If it costs you your time and brings you no value, it's too expensive. Remember, every minute counts, and the person who learns to say no to the noise gets to say yes to the life they truly want. So today, I challenge you. Identify your top 3 time thieves. Cut them by 50% this week. Reinvest that time in something that brings results, not regrets. Because if you don't guard your time, the world will waste it for you. Plan your week. Live your life. If I could give you one secret, one simple discipline that could multiply your results, reduce your stress, and take your life to the next level, it would be this: plan your week before your week begins. Now, I know that sounds basic, but don't confuse simple with easy. And don't underestimate what a weekly plan can do for your progress, your peace of mind, and your purpose. Here's what I've learned. The week goes better when you go first. If you don't tell your time where to go, it'll go anywhere. And if you don't decide what matters, everything else will decide for you. Let me put it plainly. If you don't run the week will run you. Now, most people wake up Monday with no map. They go from task to task, reacting to problems, by answering emails, putting out fires. But here's what happens. When you don't plan ahead, you end up busy, but not better, tired, but not fulfilled, moving, but not in the direction of your dreams. That's why I recommend this powerful habit every Sunday evening. Take 30 minutes and sit down with your calendar. Don't just glance design. Ask yourself, what are the top 3 goals I must accomplish this week? What key results would make this a winning week? What time will I block for reading, thinking, and building my future? Where do I need to say no so I can protect my yes? Don't let life surprise you. Plan for it. Prepare for it. Take control of it. Because when your week is on paper, your vision becomes visible, your priorities become clear, and your confidence, it skyrockets. And remember this. The plan doesn't have to be perfect. Life will throw in some curveballs, no doubt. But when you've got a plan, at least you're starting with intention, not accident. Let me give you this truth. A week of purpose is more powerful than a month of chaos. And when you stack enough purposeful weeks together, you build a life of meaning, achievement, and peace. So here's the challenge for you. This Sunday, take back control. Grab a notebook, or your phone or a whiteboard, and design your week. Put your goals in ink. Build your future on paper before you live it in real time. Because when you plan your week, you don't just stay busy, you stay aligned. You don't just react, you lead. You don't just survive the week, you build a life worth living. Discipline, the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Let me give it to you straight. Having a goal is not enough. Everybody's got goals. Goals to lose weight, goals to make more money, goals to write a book, build a business, fix a relationship. But the marketplace doesn't reward goals. It rewards results. In between the goal you set and the life you want, there's only one bridge that gets you across. That bridge is discipline. Now, discipline isn't about being harsh. It's not about punishing yourself or living like a machine. Discipline is simply the ability to do what needs to be done. When it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It's showing up when no one is watching. It's finishing what you start. It's choosing growth over comfort daily. Let me tell you what I've found over the years. Successful people aren't more talented. They aren't more lucky. They're simply more disciplined. They don't always feel like it, but they show up anyway. They don't wait for motivation. They move with purpose because they know discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. You think staying consistent is hard? Try explaining why you never followed through. Try carrying the weight of untapped potential. Now that's heavy, but here's the good news. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build one decision at a time. Start small. Get up when your alarm goes off. The first time, read 10 pages a day every day. Say no to the junk food just once. Spend 30 focused minutes on your goal. No distraction. That's how discipline grows. And when it grows, so does your confidence, your momentum, your results. And soon something incredible happens. What once felt hard becomes who you are. You don't just act disciplined. You become disciplined. And once that happens, success becomes inevitable. Because here's the truth. Discipline turns promises into progress. It turns vision into victory. Hide. It's the invisible force that takes you from I wish to I did. So here's your challenge today. Choose one area of your life that needs discipline. Commit to one consistent action every day for the next 7 days. Don't wait for inspiration. Move with intention. Because at the end of the day, the difference between where you are and where you want to be is what you're willing to do every single day, and the bridge that gets you there. Discipline. Always discipline. Invest time in growth, not just goals. Let me ask you a question that most people never stop to ask. Are you chasing goals, or are you building growth? Because goals are great. I love goals. They give us targets. They give us energy. But here's the truth. Most people miss goals can get you started. Growth is what keeps you going. You see, it's one thing to hit the goal. It's another thing to become the kind of person who keeps rising even after the goal is achieved. The goal might be to make $1 million, but the real reward, it's becoming the person with the discipline, the courage, the mindset, and the skill to earn it and keep it. And that only comes from growth. Let me tell you something powerful. The most valuable project you will ever work on is you. Not the business, not the house, not the title or the trophy, you, because when you grow, everything around you gets better. Your career improves, your relationships deepen, your confidence rises, your income increases. So the question is, are you investing time in your personal growth? Not just working harder, but thinking better. Not just getting busier, but becoming wiser. Do you want a better life? You've got to become a better you. So here's what I recommend. Start small, but start daily. Read at least 10 pages of a good book every day. Listen to one audio that stretches your thinking. Reflect on what you're learning and apply it. Surround yourself with people who make you reach higher. Treat your mind like a garden. If you neglect it, weeds will grow. But if you feed it, water it, protect it, it will produce ideas, habits, and vision that can change your life forever. And remember, growth doesn't happen in a day, but it does happen daily. If you give it time, if you make it a priority, if you treat your personal development like it's the most important appointment on your calendar, because it is the return on investment, it's priceless. So here's the challenge for you. Set aside 30 minutes each day, no excuses. Just for growth. Read, study, journal, reflect, track how you're changing, not just what you're achieving. Because in the long run, who you become is far more valuable than what you accomplish. And when you grow, your goals won't just be reached. They'll be replaced by something even greater. Master the momentum of small wins. Let me tell you one of the most powerful truths I ever learned. Big success doesn't come from big actions. It comes from small wins stacked. Day after day, week after week. That's the secret. Small wins create momentum. And momentum creates transformation. See, most people wait for the breakthrough moment, the big deal, the big shift, the magical opportunity. But the most successful people, they don't wait. They build. They understand that every small victory, no matter how ordinary it looks, is a building block for something extraordinary. Want to lose weight? Start with one healthy meal. Want to write a book? Write one. Good paragraph. Want to save money? Set aside just 5. It may feel small. It may seem insignificant. But here's the truth. The first win is the hardest and the most important. Because once you win, once your confidence grows, once you win twice, your belief grows. And once you win consistently, your life changes. You see, small wins do three things. They build belief, proof that you can follow through. They build discipline. The habit of showing up, even when it's hard. They build momentum. And momentum is how mountains are moved. Now listen, don't despise the small. Don't overlook the ordinary. A 5-minute workout still counts. A single page read still counts. A single dollar saved still counts, because what matters most isn't how big you start. It's that you start it all. So what do I recommend every morning before the day begins? Ask yourself, what small win can I achieve today? Just one action that moves your life forward even a little. Then do it. And here's the key. I celebrate it. Yes, celebrate the small stuff. Why? Because the mind loves reward. And when you celebrate small wins, you train your brain to crave progress, not perfection. That's how you stay in motion. That's how you stay encouraged. That's how you stay in the game, even when the big goal still feels far away. And remember, small wins compound. They turn into new habits. They reshape your identity. They lead to breakthroughs you never imagined, all because you honored the process. So here's your challenge. Choose one daily win. Track it for the next 7 days. Watch how your mindset, your energy, and your life begin to shift. Because when you learn to master the momentum of small wins, there's no limit to what you can build. Don't confuse urgent with important. Let me ask you something that could change your life. Are you spending your days reacting to what's urgent or investing in what's important? Because there's a difference, and if you don't learn it, you'll spend your whole life busy, but not productive, exhausted, but not fulfilled. See, the urgent is loud. It rings, it dings, it flashes. The important is quiet. It waits, it whispers. Urgent things demand your attention. Emails, text, notifications, that one thing somebody needs right now. Important things shape your future, your health, your family, your values, your vision. And here's the danger. If you don't protect the important, the urgent will take over your life. You'll spend your time putting out fires instead of building something meaningful. You'll feel overwhelmed, but never satisfied. Now, don't get me wrong, some urgent things are important. A medical emergency, a client deadline, your kid needing help. Sure, but most of what screams for your time isn't leading you anywhere better. Let me give you a principle. Important things build your legacy. Urgent things just fill your day. So how do you break free? Step 1, create space to think, even 10 minutes a day. Reflect on what really matters to you in life, in work, in relationships. Step 2, schedule the important first. Block it out before the chaos fills the calendar. Your health, your growth, your goals, your peace, they belong at the top. Step 3, learn to say no. You can't do it all, and you shouldn't try. Say no to what's noisy, so you can say yes to what's necessary. Here's what I want you to remember. Urgency pulls importance anchors. Urgency rushes you, importance roots you. And if you live your life at the mercy of what's urgent, you'll miss the slow, quiet moments where your life is actually being built. So here's your challenge this week. Write down the top 5 most important things in your life. Ask yourself, are they on your calendar? If not, put them there. Not someday, not maybe, but now. Because at the end of your life, you won't remember how fast you replied to that email. You'll remember whether you lived with purpose. Don't let the urgent steal your destiny. Live for what matters most. Review, reflect, refocus. Let me share a truth that most people learn too late. You can't improve what you don't review. You can work hard. You can stay busy. You can even move fast. But if you don't stop every now and then to take a look at the map, you might be sprinting in the wrong direction. That's why I say success isn't just about effort. It's about awareness. You've got to become the kind of person who doesn't just go through life. You grow through life. And to grow, you've got to stop and reflect. Ask the tough questions. What worked this week? What didn't work? Where did I waste time? What am I proud of? What needs to change? You see, review is the mirror. It shows you the truth. Not to shame you, but to shape you. And when you reflect consistently, something powerful happens. You begin to live by design, not by default. You become more intentional with your time, more strategic with your energy, more focused on what actually matters. And that's where growth begins. Not just an effort, but an adjustment. Now, here's the danger. Most people wait too long to reflect. They wait until a crisis, a breakdown, a burnout. But successful people, they build review into their rhythm. So let me give you a habit that could change your life. Every week, block 30 minutes just for you. Grab a notebook, sit quietly and review your week. Ask, did I use my time well? Did I make progress on my goals? Where did I drift off course? What will I do differently next week? And here's the key. Don't just reflect, refocus. Don't just look back, look forward. Use your insights to reset your aim, sharpen your focus, reignite your discipline. Because reflection without action is just regret. But reflection followed by refocus, that's power. So here's your challenge. Schedule a 30-minute review and refocus session this week. Be honest with yourself, no judgment, just clarity. Then write down 3 adjustments you'll make. Starting now, because the person who reviews often improves quickly, and the one who reflects deeply lives wisely. Remember, a course correction today can save you years of drifting tomorrow. So don't just push harder, pause smarter, review, reflect, refocus, and rise. Design a life worth living. So here we are. We've talked about time, we've talked about goals, we've talked about discipline, focus, momentum, and how to live your life with intention. But now it's time to bring it all together. Because none of this matters unless you do one thing. Decide to design a life worth living. Not just a life of survival, not just a life of running in circles, but a life of purpose, of growth, of peace, of impact. You see, most people don't live, they exist. They drift. They react to whatever comes. They're always too busy, but never truly fulfilled. That's not a life, that's a habit, a routine, a slow motion regret. But you, my friend, you have a choice. You can live by default, or you can live by design. And here's the beautiful part. Designing your life doesn't require brilliance. It doesn't require perfection. It simply requires a decision. A decision to take back your time, to prioritize what matters, to stop chasing what's urgent, and start building what's important. Because the clock is ticking, whether you use it or not. The question is, will you just spend your time, or will you invest it in something meaningful? So here's what I challenge you to do. Starting today, take control of your calendar. Align your days with your values. Practice small wins. Review often, say no when needed. Say yes to the things that move your life forward. Build habits, not excuses, and grow every single day. Because a rich life doesn't come from luck. It comes from living on purpose. And when you look back 10, 20, 30 years from now, you won't care how many emails you answered or how perfectly you managed your to-do list. You'll care about the life you created, the person you became, and the difference you made. That's the reward for the one who chooses discipline over distraction, growth over comfort, and purpose over passivity. So don't just make a living. Make a life one day at a time, one choice at a time, one discipline hour at a time. Because you can't get more time, but you can build a life that matters with the time you already have. Now go design a life worth living.